in terms of yesterday, Mac decided that OBS didn't have screen recording capabilities anymore. So woohoo! So we're gonna put. Actually, I don't think I have a good way to do that. So we're just gonna throw up a yieldy secret screen. Secret screen is probably not gonna do it. Screw it. Y'all are gonna get to see me work on this monstrosity. All right, so we're gonna bring that down just a wee bit. You'll also get to poke behind the scenes and see what a Medj does. Over here is the secret side. This is the side that you all normally don't see. And then this is the side that you're supposed to see. And then this is more or less what I do. Crop to window, iTerm. And then we just make it bigger. Yoink. Although unfortunately that looks scuffed as all hell. Good morning, Chaos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Is this bot stream or another website stream? This is absolutely bot stream. All right, so we're gonna have widescreen black bars of death today, unfortunately. I wonder if I can make that bigger. I can make it a little bit bigger. All right, that's okay. That's okay. We'll do something like that. Pop into main. All right, well that'll have to do. And then we put the code screen way down there. We lock it in place. And we move OBS over here. Yes, well, actually, no. I'm gonna have to shrink the screen, unfortunately. But that should be fine. All right. So John, welcome to the lab. Thank you so much for stopping by. How you doing, mate? As we have some fun technical difficulties thanks to Mac's permissioning. I swear, every time that happens, it makes me ponder getting either Manjaro or one of my old Linux distributions, putting it on the Ryzen machine that's down below. Alas, your hype cannot be contained right now. What you hyped about, John? Alrighty. We're gonna kick things off with a pull request. And just as a note for people, there have been some things that have been going on behind the scenes, and I do have off hours videos up for that right now, which put the secrets window up for just a second. Want to double check to make sure that they are indeed released. At least they should be. Oh, they're private. Well, that doesn't help anybody, now does it? So we're just gonna very quickly make those public. Public and dashboard. And go to the channel. All right. Close that down. Bring secrets off. I believe the link is on the Twitch page. There should be a YouTube link in the About section. But so I did upload. I actually uploaded 3 different off hours videos. I was on a roll this week. One for where is the request? One for wrapping WebSockets inside of a io.readwrite closer. And the change for that was actually not as bad as I thought it would be, except for the part that Shito helped me dig through, which was on the read side. But as part of that, we also introduced commands and tags coming in on chat messages, which I believe are currently being printed out right now. Yes, they are. So we've got a bunch of stuff in here that is happening. But in a nutshell, we're getting more data from the Twitch stream, from the IRC stream, than we were previously. And then this is basically just copying over to the new piece, and then now there's this wswebsocket.go file. Inside of here, we're basically wrapping the Gorilla WebSocket connection. So now we have a WebSocket interface that implements IO read write closer, which effectively means that we have a testing shim we can use. So that was one big one. And then on top of that, I started working on this guy. And this guy was going a lot better than I thought it would. And then I also started to add some tests as well because this was going so good. So number one, in the README, I have a bunch of examples of different types of messages. So we've got an IRC bits message, a whisper, a clear chat, which was interesting as a result of a timeout, the first subscription from somebody, a gifted subscription from somebody, and then what a raid looks like. From those messages, I built out some stubs. So we've got a raid handler, which in theory, and I do want to test this properly at some point, I had it pointed to Guitar's stream yesterday, right as Sorcery threw in a raid, and in the chat, or not in the chat, but in the logs, I did get the shout out. At least I saw the shout out message being populated. So it seems that the bot does recognize a raid, and it does automatically attempt to shout out the raider. So that's a start. And that all that code basically made its way into here. So we've got a bits handler, we've got a raid handler, and then we've got, I did do some simplification on the IRC side as well. For example, params is now just a flat string instead of a slice of string, because I was just constantly taking raw strings, flat strings, and then just joining them back into a raw string anyway. So it didn't really make sense for me to do that way anymore. At least I didn't think so, so I flattened it. There's also some other changes for things like, okay, well, now it's not called params anymore. It's called contents. I broke the IRC message up a good bit. We've got some handling logic inside of IRC, so now we can actually switch on what type of message it is. Is it a bits message? Is it just a chat message? Is it a raid message? And to do all of that required some capabilities set up, which took a little bit. I'm sorry, John. I'll explain some detail here in just a second. And the other big thing that I did was I started to break things out. So message, for example, is its own file now. Message processing is its own set of functionality. I broke those things down into smaller pieces, and then consequently got to write tests for them. So that is a swath of what I ended up doing over this past week. I've been poking with the code a lot, mostly late at night when it was when my brain was in full ride for whatever reason. So that PR is up. I will likely merge it here in just a second because there is more functionality that I want to add to it. All right, let me catch up with chat. Let's see here. Missed the Game Awards, but I saw the Smash reveal. Oh snap! Oh snap! I am prepared for all the hype. I have a lot of friends that were super excited for what would potentially be a new Smash game, and I'm kind of happy that that's actually a thing. I personally don't play Smash, but am curious. Let's see here. I'm guessing this is automated messages. Exactly. So John, as kind of a TLDR, everything that we're doing right now, all features that we're trying to build in this bot right now, are more or less focused around automating messaging or tracking of certain things. So, for example, when a raider raids a channel, automatically thanking that raider and giving them a shout out. Whenever somebody donates bits, automatically thanking them and saying, "Hey, thanks for the bits." Eventually, I do want to do some type of bit tracking, just so I can say, "Oh, well, this user has donated X number of bits over the course of their time in the stream." Blah 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 blah. Might do something gamified with that, but at the moment, not really. But yeah, that's basically most of what we're doing is just automating messaging. Don't get me started on breaking things up into smaller pieces. Our PMD rule master wants 20 methods per class max. C-Rock, that is a perfect example of where metrics that just don't need to be metrics are metrics. Rock Raid. Also, welcome, Rock Raid. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the lab. Twitch already tracks total bits donated. Can you not access that? I can, and that is another piece that actually came up yesterday. The theory about building my own shout out function, which in order to implement, like, for example, to make my own Pound SO, instead of relying on Streamlabs for that, just building it myself. And in order to do that, I would need a HTTP client. And I haven't built the HTTP client yet. I mean, building HTTP clients in Go is like super easy and I love it. But I haven't done it yet. So that is something that will probably be coming. If I don't do it in MVP2, which, I mean, I'm probably going to call MVP2 after this part. I do actually need to change this to MVP3 because unfortunately, auto-thanking followers is really difficult to do with IRC because you can't. I have to plug into event sub somehow. Alrighty. So, if there are no objections, which I technically posted yesterday, but I am going to go ahead and squash and merge this. So we don't need that part. We just need add RAID and bits parsing in IRC. That's sub handlers in the bot. We don't need to track the bug. Probably add that. That's a duplicate. Don't really need to. I don't really like whenever I'm doing a squash and merge, I don't like to have all of the fix messages in there because by the time that the squash and merge happens, hopefully the feature should more or less be fixed. Yeah, we can do something like that. That should do. All right. Mine. Chomp. And delete that brain. All right. So we're going to go ahead and automatically shout out raiders. We're going to call that done. Add tests for IRC, I'm probably going to keep because I do want to add more tests to that. And technically, I wrote tests for messages. I didn't necessarily write tests for IRC. I want to do some integration style tests for IRC. So we will get to that. And by the way, this is what I was looking at, which technically this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in the Twitch API. Where is the reference? Here it is. How good are the test frameworks for Go? I've only used one, the one that's built into the language, and personally, I love it. I love test framework for Go. A, it's simple. B, it has built-in benchmarking. And C, did I mention it was simple? I'll actually show a little bit of that here in just a sec. Comments will not be seen by you. So I want to say get streams probably, or get channel information. Let's see. It'll either be get streams. Game ID. No. Hey, really, Frank. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. Does it slow down the test execution time, though? Benchmarking is a separate feature, so you basically have to explicitly say that you want to run the benchmark tests, if I remember correctly. Golang benchmark test. So it looks something like this. Function with benchmark in front. And it is only run whenever you pass the -bench flag. I think there's a whole host of flags. And this is my personal favorite. Bench time can basically be turned into something that is more or less like, hey, run the test for in time. It's almost kind of like burn-in if you wrote it that way. We've got coverage that's built in. You've got some cover modes if you really wanted to. You can specify all kinds of stuff. Damn, there's more options in here than I thought it was. Damn. Well, I know what I'm playing with later today. How precise is the benchmarking? I would imagine it's about as precise as most benchmarking tools are, at least the average benchmarking case. I think that it matters if you're trying to get a good average to run enough iterations to push those. Oh shit! Of course, I just saw your comment, Shito. Damn it! It's because it came in Proton Mail and I didn't get the Proton Mail notifications. I'm sorry. We'll go back to those. We'll go back to those right now. Right now. Right now. But yes, I kind of like.
So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
Sorry, can't think of one. Thank you so much for the subscription. Holy shit. What was that? Cumulative months? 3 cumulative months. Bad man. Bad man. Let's see here. I'm guessing it's things like code that was commented out for PubSub and things like that. I think that's the one that popped up on my Proton Mail. Oh yeah. By the way, this is what I plan to fix today. So right now, a user notice for a subscription is currently an unknown user notice. We gonna fix that today, because that is an easy fix. Exactly. Okay. I figured it would be something like that. Now the real question is, I'm not gonna see the, of course, comments, and it doesn't have any conversation either. But isn't there a way? No. Shit. Well. Yeah, so the PubSub client is currently disabled, mostly because I am in the wrong PR. What am I doing? Thank you. To be in here. Yep. Remove comment. Remove all unused code. That's fair. Yeah, we are intending to fix the PubSub client. So the reason that PubSub was disconnected or was commented out was because the apparently the ping pong logic is not currently working. So what was happening is the PubSub client would connect, and then about 5 minutes or so later, I would start getting the disconnect and reconnect messages until eventually you would see the kind of final bomb out of error, fatal, blah blah blah. PubSub just goes kaboom. So I was commenting that code out to get rid of it. As for the comments on the raid handler, that is absolutely fair. On the bits handler, this one I'm leaving purely because that's what I intend to uncomment. My intent is to uncomment this and or to comment this or delete this and then uncomment that. So that will be coming here shortly. So bear with me. WQ, get checkout main, get pull, or get checkout, get checkout main, get pull. Them irc.go. What happened? Okay. Oh, it apparently I had something something committed on here. That's interesting. No? No more? Okay. If we got any more. No? Do a quick go test, make sure everything looks good. Cool. Commit, merge, got all that. And should be good to go, I think. Yeah. Your branch is ahead by 2 commits. Why is that? Let me make sure. Dash B test, hit push origin test. Because I shouldn't be ahead. I should be behind. So what are the changes? File changes. None. Ash. So I literally just have divergent branches. Okay, that's fine. Branch ST test, get push. Get local and main back up. Technically, I should have deleted my my local copy of main, but just in case. Just in case. All right, and we can get rid of raids and bits. Raids and bits. All right, so let's do a get checkout -b subs. Let's do subs today. Subway subs? No, not it. Close that. Touch. So we're gonna need, for starters, we're gonna need a bot subs handler. There was a part of me that was tempted to break down message. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm definitely starting to see that code grow a little bit. So right now inside of message, which now holds all of the processing logic for an IRC message, this is the change that I made. So number 1, tags is a map of key value pairs, strings. The user is still being collected. The command is still being collected. The channel is now being collected separately. So we are actually parsing that that method out proper. And then the contents is basically what was previously params, but it's basically everything else. It's the message contents for that message. And I did that mostly because while thinking about it in terms of params, like what is it? Tags, commands, params, etc., was direct from an IRC spec perspective. It was confusing the crap out of me when trying to build features, so decided to change it. At the moment, we are technically doing an abstraction over message.tag. So we've got tag and add tag. I'm questioning the use of that personally because tags are internal, or at least they should be internal, except for the part where I'm doing the message parsing. I might move the message parsing into here. But the original idea was that message and then tags, I could basically hide the implementation of tags from the rest of the world And then I could either have it as a map string, or I could have it as a slice, or I could have it as whatever I wanted. And the reality is that abstraction is basically unnecessary. Because I'm not sharing tags anywhere outside of IRC. I shouldn't be sharing tags anywhere outside of IRC. So, I'm very tempted to remove this because it did cause some issue earlier. But we will come back to that. So let's come back up and let's take a look at this insanely generous resubscription. I'm sorry, I can't think of one. And we're going to use that as a comparison for this code. So number one, we know that it's a user notice, and user notice is effectively a collection of events that happen inside of IRC, which, yes, I am using IRC instead of PubSub for this feature. I'm using IRC instead of PubSub for a lot of these features because that just simplifies the amount of code that I have to write. And I am so tired of PubSub's inconsistency and documentation. Oh, hydrate. Cheers, Fuel. Cheers, Shito. I read Fiol's name, and then I saw Shito's redemption. I'm sorry, Shito. Cheers, Shito. Let's see here. And inside of here, this gives me more or less everything that that I need to look at. So we've got message ID of sub and message ID of resub. Catcam? I think I can call one over. Zelda. I think Zelda's ignoring me. Alt F4 is 50,000 now. It is 50,000, isn't it? I thought I made it 500,000. Eh. I would just be wrong. Oh, Zelda. Party. Come here. Sorry to say I don't have a foreign language to call my cats. Zelda. Come here, Party. Here she comes. Takes a little bit of goading now. I should probably do this since I'm doing processor stuff exercises. No worries, Fiol. Thank you for the alert. Yeah. Ba-da, boop. Hey, sleepy Zelda. You pretty. Yum. Mwah. You want to hang out, or are you going to attack me? She's thinking she wants to hang out. Move that over there. Move that down just a little bit, and there you go. Hello, Zelda. You gonna attack me? Oh, she sees Tilly. Here comes Tilly. Hi, Tilly. Hang out and attack. Pretty much. That is the life of a Zelda. Hang out, get pets, get food, attack. Now, I remember seeing this inside of the other messages as well. So let me pop over into the README real quick. So a first sub, the message ID is just sub. For a gift sub, it's sub gift. And then for a resubscription, it's resub. Okay, so sub, sub gift, resub. They say resub, but they say sub gift. Why not say gift sub? Decisions. So more or less we need case sub. I'm pretty sure this is not the format in Go. Case resub and case sub gift. and we want to return message sub, which actually in sub gift, we actually want to return gift sub, but for sub and resub, we want to return message sub. Reminds me always of Dr. George Claw. Go on. Dr. George Claw. I feel like I've heard that name before. Have I heard that name before? I don't know. I just realized that user notice also has a message attached to it. The Claw. Claw chooses who will go and who will stay. All right, so like if the message is a sub/resub message, is sub message turn message sub. You can miss a few streams. Are you now parsing raw strings? Yes. So more or less, I got very annoyed with how inconsistent PubSub was, the JSON client, and so yeah. Hold on, let me type that out. So it's not necessarily off the table, but what I am doing is basically relegating PubSub to the features that I can't get in IRC, which right now, as far as I'm aware, is just channel point redemptions. So PubSub will pretty much exclusively be used for channel point redemptions, and then eventually we'll be able to we're basically going to move over to event sub, which is apparently their long-term goal, but TBD. Shorter case is sub, comma resub. Oh, okay. Thank you, Really Frank. So it's sub, comma resub. Oh, that's cool. Nice. And you can do that for any type, I'm assuming, as long as the type can be written out like that. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for that. And then sub months, I think we'll call it. All right. Now this is the part where I have to parse a little bit. So there's login. Should be a message param. Oh, tell me there was a message param. Not a message param display name. Is a display name, which is probably fine. But that doesn't necessarily tell me if it was... No, gifted is false. Okay. We may have to parse that a little bit. So in the other examples, there was a message param display name that I was pulling from, and display name is how I grabbed who the raider was, who the bits cheer was, so on and so forth. So I think I want to grab cumulative months. I don't necessarily care about streaks at the moment. I don't necessarily care about sub streaks. I only really care about did you subscribe and how long did you subscribe for. All right, so month string, And yes, I'm being lazy and copy pasting, but yeah. There's an invalid months. Defaulting to 0. Month string. 253 views. That is awesome. Holy shit, dude. Are you already writing your second one? What you gonna write about this time? It's like, dude, I just got this one out. Leave me alone. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Congrats. Okay. For the time being, did I grab? And also, let me pop over into the README again. This is why I have the README. So for a first sub, yeah, there's nothing. There's just display name. For the gift sub, though, oh, that bothers me. Twitch, why? Damn it. Okay. So to grab the subscriber, well, to grab the subscriber for a gift sub, at least gift sub is fairly straightforward. So yeah, okay. So let's do this. Let's just grab display name. And then in the gift sub, message param recipient display name. So let's come back to message. So the subscriber comes from display name because Twitch is inconsistent. It makes me sad, but it is what it is. So that's the subscription message. And yes, by the way, I am already to the point where I want to break this logic out. So we're gonna do that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, chat. Oh yeah. Return the subscriber for a subscription message. Return the number of months subscribed for a subscription message. And then down here will be return the okay, so we actually do need to capture both, I think. What method do you use for parsing now? I see a lot of small methods like is subscription message. So there is another function that is currently sitting inside of IRC, but I'm pondering moving it into here called parse IRC line. And parse IRC line is what takes a line of text and translates it into a message struct. And my apologies, I did indeed miss that message from before. Here. So this should return the recipient of a gift subscription. So this should be message param recipient display name. And that struct has member values such as is_sub, is_bits, etc. Correct. So that's what we're doing with these. So is subscription message is just me basically giving the IRC a way to compare what it is. So in this case, message sub. Now I probably don't need to parse the user notice message type all the time. I could probably just grab that once on initialization and then store it. Actually, I might do that. To do grab on initial parse. That way we don't have to constantly parse the string over and over again. Okay, subscriber. Now, cumulative months, I think, is the same. Is it? No, it's not. Okay. No. Okay. So that is indeed different. Okay. Alternatively, I could just not capture that. So for a gift, instead of capturing the yeah, okay. So display name is the sender, and then the message param, sender account, message param, recipient username. They don't have a sender username. That's okay, because I'm assuming that the sender username is display name. Okay, so let me type this out. So instead of a sub months for a gift sub, we're just going to return the sender and the recipient. Because at that point, the number of months doesn't necessarily matter. At least not right now, I don't think. So this would be sender. Don't need that. We don't need that. And just return message.tag display name. This needs to be a string. The thought there being that whenever I do something for a gift sub, I'm probably just going to be like, hey, sender, thanks for gifting a sub to receiver, something like that. Not really going to try to keep track of like, oh, well, this is they've been a subscriber for 2 months, and I don't think I really want to bother with that. For subscriptions, we want to track that. For subscriptions, definitely makes sense to grab the subscriber and then the number of months that they've been subscribed for. Okay. We got raid, sub and resub, get a sub, I get sub gift. Okay. And let me showcase the. Yeah. So we have this this parse IRC line, which honestly is almost kind of like a transformative constructor, a transformer, if you will. But the TLDR is that the logic that we had previously, where we were doing things like, okay, well, we've got the message line now. So we're gonna trim the spaces, we're gonna split it out into new lines, we do our kind of cursor logic. Here's where we parse out our tags, where we parse out our username, grabbing the command, grabbing the channel, combining the contents down and then trimming them, yada yada. All of this happens inside of this parse IRC line. And yes, I feel like this belongs in message. I strongly believe that this belongs in message. Yes, I should use that more. This is imported but not used. And all right. Thank you. Sorry, I can't think of one. I will find a way to immortalize you at some point. Func parse IRC line. And this can be packaged private because I don't really want that to be outside of IRC necessarily. So now inside of our read function. So the read function is basically utilizing IO reader, and that's the part that is reading. We've now got a max message size, which at the moment is 1024 bytes. I thought I saw on the Twitch documentation that it was 512, but then messages were getting cut off, so I bumped it up to 1024. And 1024 seems to be more or less maximum, I think. But we'll see. We'll bump that if we have to. And then we we parse that IRC line by converting that buffer into a string. And then we do all of our processing. If it's a ping message, just send pong and call it done. Otherwise, switch the command. If it's a priv message, then it can either be a bits message or a chat message. And so we just do a quick check on that. If it's a user notice, then we start doing if it's a raid event, then we create a raid message. If it's and now we can do is subscription message, BT equals bot dot new sub event, EVT dot sender equals message dot subscriber, EVT dot amount equals message dot sub months. And I also abstracted the send to the outbound events channel. I turned that into a send event message. And yeah, we'll see. Ooh, a long message for testing. Aha, it was limited to 500 characters, and it looks like your long message was indeed cut off. It was cut off at Cras Orna, which Cras Orna got me where? Oh no, it didn't cut it off. Hey! Fantastic. Good old Lorem Ipsum Dolor. Lorem Ipsum. It was cut off on your end? Okay. So Twitch chat enforces the limit, and then more or less that limit prevents messages from making its way downtown, down to my server to wreck my shit. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Cool. So if message that is subscription message, which did I indeed implement that properly? No. So return. Okay, so message type equals message dot parse user type message. Return message type equals message sub, or message type equals message. Oh, right, I don't have a distinction. Yeah, I don't have a distinction of resub. I don't know where my brain was going there, but yeah. So subscriber sub months, send the message. Case message dot is gift subscription. Then equals bot dot new gift sub event. BT dot sender equals message dot gift sender. BT dot recipient equals message dot gift recipient. And technically we don't deal with again, we don't deal with the duration, so we just say irc.send event EVT. Now what did I goof? Oh, right. Yep. Missing a colon. Otherwise, unknown user notice. Let's see here. I remember an image I saw once. Ticket for developer. Fix requested. Server throws a 500 if you enter the novel by Moby Dick into the input field XY. The curious question, though, for that ticket was the desire for it not to be a 500 and instead to be something like a 400 bad request, or was that just being a dick? That is dedicated QA. That's why I love having somebody that is QA minded on my team. That's the kind of people that will go out onto the internet, grab a text copy of Moby Dick, and try to jump that into your description block, or curl that shit directly to your server just to see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, we actually used to do that for limits testing. I'm trying to remember what we generated. We basically took like an article, I think it was, and then just duplicated it about 1 million times. And then we tried to take that that payload, post it back to the server just to see what happens. We found a lot of Tomcat issues that way. It was fun. It was almost fun finding ways to break their tools. I mean, you should be just as concerned about how your code breaks as you are that your code works. If your code works, immediately try to break it. Like, immediately. No matter what it takes. Type in 2 numbers and press enter. Wham! I see your logic. I deny it. I reject your reality and I substitute my own. All right. So why you should always have limits and timeouts on public-facing servers? Damn right. Alrighty. Let's see here. This code has gotten so small. I love it. I love the way that this looks now. It's still kind of long, but I mean, it's IRC. What do you expect? All right, just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything on this side, which I don't believe I did. That's all the bits that we need from that. So now I can do this, and I'm going to be lazy. I'll pop over. Oh dear. You all. Them. Try that again. Raid handler. Doop. Yoink. Every time I forget that Shift U is change capitalization. But when I want it, ooh, that's not what I want. But when I want it, I never remember it. Makes me very sad. All right, so this is going to be register subs handler. And this is evt.is. It's a sub event. Bot.send message. Go's HTTP server does not have timeouts by default. Correct. There was an article that I read a long time ago, and I wish I could remember where it was. There's like a template for a Go TLS enabled server that included things like timeouts, message body limits, and so forth. And there was a big old disclaimer on that article that basically said, this is not the configuration for you. This is showing you that there is configuration. Please, for the love of God, do your own analysis and change these values accordingly. And the comments were just full of people that were like, I don't understand. Why does this configuration suddenly drop my my file that I'm trying to upload? And how big's the file? 2 gigabytes? Well, then you should probably up your body limit to 2 gigabytes now, shouldn't you? Do not blindly copy and paste. Don't do that. Be mindful of the things that you are changing. Alrighty. So, moment of note. A feature that I really want to work on is this guy. Mustache templates for the config YAML message format keys. Because while technically speaking, what I am doing does work, where I'm passing in a message format and then just passing that directly to fmt.sprintf. Oops. And then if I go into config.yaml, you see like, oh yeah, this is basically just a string that you would pass into FMT. Cool. Very, very fragile. Very, very fragile. What I would really like to do, I would like to have a more kind of standardized way of doing these formatted messages. And yeah. Yeah. I want to change it, but I'm not sure how. Not yet, at least. I'm currently standing to flex on people who sit on their who sit to work on their PCs. Actually, you know what? That's a good point. I haven't stood today yet. Well, I have. I got up to, get out of bed, and I went on a walk, but I haven't stood while standing at the desk, or while being at the desk, so we gonna fix that. Welcome to the standing stream, everybody. Oh. Yoda. You gotta hold the button for it to go burr. I mean, I did too. I stand at the bathroom enough for me. All right, hot take. I don't stand. I'm one of those guys. I don't stand when I go to the bathroom. I sit or I kneel. Because I don't like cleaning. Bam! Why stand if you could just hover menacingly? And for some odd reason, I got this image of like somebody like being suspended from a rope, like hovering over the toilet. Like, what? Let's see here. There was a part of me that was really tempted to just have a single subs handler method, regardless of if it's a subscription or a gift subscription. And I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to be lazy. I'm sorry, chat. This is going to be sub message format, and this is going to be gift sub. Oops. Do the short form. So then what we can do is if evt dot is sub event. Oh, how do we go there? I want to be there. Yeah. Let's do var message string if evt dot is sub event, then message equals mt dot sprintf sub message format evt dot. Okay, so this is why I have a bit of a problem with this particular approach. Else message equals fmt dot sprintf sub if sub message format, and it wouldn't be an else. It would actually be a else if evt dot is gift sub. Evt dot sender, dbt.recipient. So this is why I don't like it, because I'm making a very explicit assumption that the ordering is proper. And I can't make that assumption. I can't reasonably make that assumption unless I document the shit out of it in the config YAML, which is wolf. Yeah. Let's see. Else. Return. And then we can just do so time.sleep 2.seconds. Change it in this. Bot.send message. MSG. Send the MSG. Fun fact, my sending desk was actually a gift by my parents from graduating college. Sure, some people go on a world trip. I have other needs and wants. Yo, there is nothing wrong with that, Rockray. Like, my desk was probably the first thing when I really got into the work from home lifestyle, which happened for me a couple of years ago. The first thing that I did was I saved up money and I invested in a desk. Unfortunately, at the time, I invested in the wrong desk because that desk ended up just crapping out on me. So I saved up more money, and then I got the Uplift desk that I have right now. Fantastic, fantastic desk. It's just so good. Let's see here. Oh, hello. Nice. But yeah, it's like the standing desk came first, and then at that time I'd already kind of condensed down to a single monitor, but I was doing the like the little stand with the laptop on it. That was okay, but I kind of wanted a bigger screen. I just didn't want to do multiple screens, so I got that. And then I got the monitor arm, and the monitor arm changed everything because ergonomics. And then I invested in the chair, which changed everything because posture. Like I've invested so much money into my workspace just for comfort, ergonomics, efficiency, simplicity, and it's a huge difference. It's so good. Office furniture is crazy expensive. Oh yeah, especially if you have one of the Herman Miller chairs, which I was not impressed with. Herman Miller. I did at one point buy a Herman Miller for here. It was awful. It was a terrible, terrible chair. And I sent it back and I bought this thing. This thing I think was $350, I want to say. Perfectly fine. And my fat ass sits on it. Like my fat ass sat on this this cushion for a long time, like every day, like 12 hours a day, give or take. And it's held up really nicely. So I like it. What about those tacky DX Racer gaming chairs? I don't like them. I don't like the way that they angle inwards. My Miata does that. The seats on my Miata, they basically angle you inward, and they push my shoulders forward. And I don't like that. I like my shoulders to be, up and back. So it was constantly pushing me forward. And eventually, like, I started to get a lot of, like, shoulder and lower neck pain. Was that causation, or was it correlation, or was it causation? Your mileage may vary. But, yeah, I don't like that style. Maybe useful for a racing scenario, perhaps. But I'm not racing, I'm coding. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. If sub event is get sub event, else return no messaging. Otherwise, do the thing and the message. So, unfortunately, I am very heavily assuming like sub event, number of months, then sender. So yeah. So we're gonna have to encode that. somewhere. What was it? Was it hash? Note. Note for message format. Subs, it's months first, then subscriber. For gift subs is sender first, then recipient. I feel like I should probably do the same thing. Well, I don't really actually have a raid message that accounts for the number of raiders, but more or less this is the problem. I have to write this out, and then I have to remember to use it. So subs message format, and the subs message format is thank you for months in the lab at %s. Right, that doesn't feel comfy. It works, but I don't like it. Gift subs. We got subs and we got gift subs. Gift subs. There we go. The message is biddies instead of bits on Spooky's channel. What can I say? I'm basically copying her Nightbot at that point. What I want to, what should we do for the lab for gift subs? Use the template package. That is the plan, really, Frank. That is actually the next feature that I want to look into. Is templates for the strings instead of this, what I'm doing right now. What should the message be for gift subs? Say something like %s. What do I want to do this? At %s loaned their lab coat to the recipient. Gift subs can be one or more. Yes, although the gift subs appear to come in as separate messages, which is interesting. Like, for example, God, please do. Thank you. Okay. We got that running. Draw this up here. Congrats, everybody. We spending money. Complete the purchase.
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing.
Unfortunately, I don't have cool emotes to give as part of the subscription, so so yeah, it comes in as 5 separate messages. So if I wanted to do something kind of like what Streamlabs does, where it's effectively like, oh, I've received N number of subscriptions from somebody, I think I have to grab that. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Oh, hold on. Now that's interesting. I didn't see that message when I was testing yesterday. Oh, that's very interesting. And we've got two, actually. We've got this initial message, which tells me somebody gifted subs, mass gift count of 5. That's super cool. And then we've also got a reward redemption, which is also interesting. Okay, hang on a second. We're going to save that. We're going to come over to the README. We're going to go bloop. And we're going to do a mass gift subs. So mass gift subs. Note. Also generates 5 individual sub user notice messages where, and if I look at this again, I basically, you know what, I just kind of want to grab that for notes, for note purposes. I'm going to save that and come back to that a little bit later. But yes, and then all of these, if I'm guessing correctly, I think this is going to have something like a was gift or is gift somewhere. Oh no, they're just ID of sub gift. Med's now gifting subs his own channel. Look at those wings. Wow, those are pretty. Holy shit, I really like that. That's so cool. Aha. I really like those. Wow. And yes, we are gifting subs for science. I don't trust that test. Try with 10 subs. Wait until I get my paycheck. Okay. So all of these are actually message ID, where message ID equals sub gift. Note, this message shows first, but also generates 5 individual messages. So let me come back over to here. Do I want to become famous? Nah. I don't want to be famous. All right, so we can close that out. Let me grab this one and this one. Being famous is such a hassle. Right. Please excuse the sniffling. My my ear is doing that weird thing again. Okay. I like how the message is completely scrambled with obscured characters, but the big follows is completely normal. Is that wrap? Let's see here. And this one was sub reward tier unlock. Yeah, so that's very interesting. And since it's my name, I'll leave it in the thing, but very nice success I got going here. We are now more confused about set associative caches than we were before starting the exercise. Considering, I think that's fair. What? Set associative caches. What would a set associative cache be used for is the real question. Yeah. Okay. A buddy of mine sending me something for everything. Aha. It's the usual structure caches have. Ah, okay. Let's see here. Else that I want to grab out of that? I don't think so, but I will definitely come back to that at some point. Because sub mystery gift. Ow! I dropped my. I went to stretch my leg and then I just smacked it into the arm of my chair. Ow! that damn emote! Oh my god! I love that toilet paper. Toilet paper 2020. How appropriate. All right. So yes, I will come back to that a bit later. So it's a mount and then sender, and then it's sender and recipient. Sender, the recipient. Okay. All right, and then we have to come into main. Var enable subs message is a boolean. Bonk. Enable subs message. Subs. Enable subs. Auto thanks. And then we need to come down to here. Enable subs message or enable all. Subs key. You see a pattern here. So this would be subs message format. Subs key. We need to do the same thing for gift sub key. And this is gift subs. And this would be gift subs message format. Gift message. This doesn't need to be a register bits handler. This needs to be register subs handler, and then this is subs message format and gift sub. Well, that's a problem. Oh, right. Gift sub key. One day we'll simplify that, but not this day. All right. Anything else that we want to do for this? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else I want to do. There was a part of me that was tempted to break that down into a register sub handler and a register gift sub handler. Was basically just tempted to break them down to do more or less the same thing. And the thought there would be that for a gift sub handler, the gift sub handler would also have to account for the mass of subs, but I think for now letting it spam is okay, at least to some degree, because there's no real good way for me to go, oh, well, this, but then this, therefore don't do this, instead do that. I don't really have a good way to handle that. But eventually I do foresee myself probably breaking this up. How I do that, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll get. Not to mention the fact that a mass sub gift does kind of break the event approach, because sender would be singular, recipient would be plural, and then amount would actually be, so recipient would be plural if I decided to go, oh, well, then I'm going to collect all of the subs that that person just gifted to and then do like a mass shout out or something. But that would be a little more complex than I think I'm prepared to do at the moment. Oh, alrighty. Well, I am ready to test this thing. See what happens. However, I'm not going to do a sub at the moment, but I need to take probably a 5 to 10 minute break or so. Actually, I'll do a 5-minute break. I'll get breakfast on, and then I'll come back, and then we'll go back to grab breakfast. But I desperately need to get breakfast. So bear with me for about 5 minutes. I will be right back.
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing.
Ah, you're welcome, Horror. We were doing some testing earlier, and I decided to give some subs, and oh my god! Really, Frank, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted sub. Apparently that part didn't work. Good to know. Yeah, that part didn't work, but thank you so much. I appreciate it, mate. So what happened? I'm catching up. I stand corrected. I thought I was gonna go down and start the egg boiler, do my usual 2 eggs, but for some reason I was feeling a smoothie this morning, so blueberry banana spinach smoothie instead. Let me just log that real quick. You're the best, Horror. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's see here. So what have I done? I've done one of those. Smoothie, where's smoothie? This. And now we're doing pralines because I wanted to add some kind of protein into the mix, but of course these are praline pecans and not just pecans, so Oh, I'd also like to do another shout out to online exercises that get automatically corrected. We are supposed to do 6 values and only get told wrong or right. If we get wrong, we know somewhere one or more of those numbers are wrong. We have no clue as to why or how. Which You're just feeding my hatred of those systems, feel. Oh my goodness. Maybe it would be cheaper to write some tests for sub messages. You're not wrong, really, Frank. And again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We got a reward gift, a community pay forward, and a sub mystery gift. Oh my goodness. IDs, reward gift, sub gift. Okay. So it turns out that I've made it difficult on myself. Oh, did I something? But yes, I agree, really, Frank. I think we're gonna write some tests for this. Gift sub. Yep, nope, that's the issue. That's the issue. For some reason, I thought that they had camel cased that display name. And this would not be an inconsistency. Okay. Yes. So now we're going to go over to message test, and we are absolutely going to add some tests. Probably should have done this ahead of time, but details. So this is a sub message equals something, gift sub message equals something, and we'll grab from the README more or less. All right, and I do have a couple of table tests. So sub message, resub message, and this should be gift sub. So this should be sub message. I'm definitely not smart enough for programming stuff. You are. You are, Horror. Just remember, what you are staring at is the culmination of me doing this for 15 some odd years. That's why that's probably why I make this seem simple but complicated, is the way that it's been described to me before. Like somebody that wasn't program minded, and this is actually my cousin, watched me program, watched me code once or twice, and the way that she described it was, you make it seem so simple, and yet the shit that you're doing is complicated as all hell. Like, don't necessarily agree with the first part, but the second part, definitely. Like, this shit is complicated as all hell. That's why it's fun. It's challenging. But, yeah, it's just because I've been doing it for a while. You absolutely could do it. It just depends on whether or not you would be motivated or not to do so. That's the thing that I think I've run into a lot recently. I've run into a lot of people that are not motivated by software development or not motivated for software development. And then they wonder why they have such a hard time with it. They wonder why they're not better at it. It's like it's a hard thing. It's a hard craft. It's a very hard craft to master. It'll probably take me my whole life, if I had to guess. And that's exciting to me. Everything looks what did I say? Everything looks complicated if you don't understand it. I really like I like the way that sounds, really, Frank. Hell yeah. It's learning in school, but the teacher made it really was a doofus, made it really hard to understand. I feel like that's probably why I had such a hard time with Japanese, because I tried to take Japanese, and I'm so thankful for Spooky for offering to kind of help me with learning some of the Japanese phrases. It's a huge gift. But that was basically my experience with Japanese class. It was a teacher who basically embraced the idea of Japanese is hard, therefore you're going to struggle, and didn't really do anything to try and help us through that struggle. So what we would effectively get is the material, and he would be like, it's time for you to understand it. I didn't. I couldn't grasp that material in the spans of a class. So I ended up failing that class. That was the first class that I think I ever failed, like ever in my school career. I came close a couple of times, but I never outright failed a class. Japanese was the first class I failed, which crushed me because I desperately wanted to learn Japanese. Like, I wanted to go to Japan. I wanted to embrace Japanese culture. I wanted that experience. And that's what I got for it. So it was fun. It was great. But now, how long was that? 14 years ago? Some 14 years later? I'm all right. I'm not the best, but I'm learning. All right, let's see here. Oh shit. This is not in raw format. Oh, that's gonna bother me. Have you been to Japan yet? I have not. No. And no worries. There's no issue with asking. I have not, unfortunately. I had the opportunity to go a couple of years ago when my sister and her husband, they were living in Japan for a couple of years while he was doing work training at the Toyota shop, Toyota headquarters. But for various reasons that mostly come back to work related issues, I didn't get the chance. I didn't get the chance to go. It would have been the perfect opportunity to do so. So, but call it renewed vigor. Like Spooky kind of like renewed that spark of going back and learning. So my plan is more or less to spend as much time as I possibly can studying, focusing on blah blah blah, and really getting it into my brain what I need to do. And then from there we'll kind of see how it plays out. But hang on a second. It's all right. I just saw something and my brain just like doubled over on itself. But it's okay. It is my own fault for allowing myself to let work get in the way of what I really wanted to do. Emotes, flags, ID, login, message ID. Sorry, I'm basically reconstructing this now. And it makes me very sad that I have to do this, but I realize that I'm not printing out the tags in normal format. Message ID equals sub, message param cumulative months equals 1, message param months equals 0, multi-month duration, which I need to change that to equals. Damn, I really should have. I used to have a line somewhere where it would print out the raw message. And unfortunately, I don't have that anymore. Here, that. Emotes win? About that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what kind of emotes I would even do here. There's raw message examples in the docs. Aha! Thank you, really, Frank. Yeah. I would more or less have to do the same thing. Okay, sender count. Okay, so this is channel is rated. Resubbed. Aha. That's what I need. Yoink. Thank you, really, Frank. I'm sorry I keep sniffling. My ear is doing that weird thing. I'm trying to stop doing that, but my ear. Come back up to here. Badges equals mod 1. Display name I wanted to be assistant 1. I have tried that a couple of times. Let me do that real quick. Hang on. Most of the time it doesn't work for me because it's kind of weird. It's like in one ear it feels like I'm getting I can hear myself in my ear. It's the weirdest feeling. And it almost feels like I can hear myself in this ear, but it sounds like I'm underwater, if that makes any sense. It's so weird. It's like, why? And nobody's been able to tell me why. Why? That's a assistant 1 message ID equals, this should be sub, cumulative months equals 1, Greek months should be 0, sub plan doesn't matter, plan name, room ID, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Subscribe for 1 month. He's dead now. It was nice knowing you, everybody. Take care. Remember me. Edge Labs. Oops. That. In here. More testing. We don't really use the oh goodness. Yeah, we don't really use that that message for anything, but we might at some point. I want this to be resub. Resub cumulative months equals 2. That should be good. And for gift sub, hey, really, Frank, do you want to be immortalized in our test suite? All right, let me see if I can find it. Community pay it forward. I'm gonna have to evaluate that, huh? But yes. So we're gonna come in here. We're gonna go into our README. We're gonna grab this here gift sub. Yoink. We're gonna come back to the test suite, and we're gonna immortalize you. Yoink. I'm gonna go lurk mode, gonna violate my instrument. Sounds good, Horror. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Enjoy the lurk. Enjoy your instrument, as you should. Right. For all the things that that you have done for me up to this point, really, Frank, I appreciate it. We shall immortalize you. Let's see here. So login. Name. Really, Frank. Emotes, sure. Login, really, Frank? I think it's all lowercase though, isn't it? Nope, it's capital case. So we're gonna do that. Mod 0, message ID equals gift sub? It was, or sub gift? Oy vey. Message param gift month equals 1. This is going to be message param recipient display name, and this is going to be, we're going to pretend that you gave a gift to, actually, who did you give your gift to? Let's see. Oh, that's why, because it's just a gift sub to the community. Okay. Gift sub to Chaos811. Chaos, are you still with us by chance? I don't think they are. I think they had to take off. Yeah. Sure. Gonna pick a user at random. Hey, Fiol, would you like to be immortalized in our test suite? As I interrupt you in your schooling. Just in case. It's OEL, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see here. Such param origin ID equals 1. Recipient should probably have, first of all, that's an M. Yoink. Message param. This is username, I think it was. Recipient username. You feel honored? Well, I'm honored to have you here. You've been a massive help. You've been a massive help for me up to this point. And you have accelerated my understanding to a point where that may very well come in great handy to me in about 2 hours. So, to you, I say, thank you. What is this? Recipient ID equals 9. Okay, so we got origin ID. I'm still throwing in some of the random stuff just in case. What? Message param. Message param. Subplan. Message param sub equals 1000. Message param sub plan name is channel subscription channel. I feel like that's something you can change. I'm curious. Thanks for the sub. Welcome, Sleo. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. Yeah, we're working on a auto sub handler, and I needed data. Should I have written a test for it? Yes, and that's why we're writing a test for it at the moment. Should I have done that first? Details. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome. And I apologize for the sniffles. I've got this weird thing going on with my ear, and it is bothering the crap out of me. Room ID was in there, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah. Room ID, subscriber, system message. Really? Frank. As gifted. A tier 1 sub to gift recipient. I have to be really careful about doing that because I'm a Vim user. I can't count the number of times that I type out KKK, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't mean to, but I do. Tier 1 sub to deal. Oh, illegal escape character. Yeah. Okay. Save that real quick. And I think that's everything. Should be everything. Your test had greater impact. Every bit, every donation, every little bit has the greatest of impact because I appreciated it. Plus, you also brought to light 2 other sub-related messages, which I also now have to handle in some way. Okay. We got sub, resub, gift sub should be message. Oh dear. Message, gift sub. Trade sub. Nope. That should be message sub. Message sub. See what happens. Ah, we got a runtime exception. Okay. Test parse user notice. Okay. Where do we fail? Message test 103. I just finally managed to write a script for day 10.2 of Advent code that doesn't run for 8 days. Oh no. You don't want to anymore? Kind of fair. What is today's what is the day 10.2? What is that challenge? I ask lazily instead of trying, instead of looking it up. I don't think I know what happened. It's weird to explain. I am now curious. I must take a look later. Let me read over my data real quick. No, I should. Oh, I think I know what I didn't do. I think I know. Be wrong. Yeah, it looks like I'm wrong. Okay. So just do a test.description, and then I can figure out which one it is. So let me do a WQ, let me do a go test. GIF sub is the issue. Okay. Index out of bounds with length 1, then we'll recover, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So GIF sub is indeed the problem. I figured it was, but I was hopeful it wasn't in some capacity. So set wrap, and let's see. Another display name, emotes, the login, message ID, sub gift, message param, gift sub month, message param recipient display name, message param recipient username, ID, sub plan. Oh, it is the bloody sub plan name. I knew it. I knew it. I bloody knew it. Go test. Ah, hello, baby. I knew it. Yeah, alright. I just used the stop script to stop a faulty server. However, if you're wondering why I was still getting error messages, checked and I forgot to change the port. So somewhere in the system, an entirely functional server was murdered in cold blood. Rippity-doo-dah, rippity-day. It's okay, we didn't need that server anyway. Mentioned you should use t.run in table test so you get the name of the failed test. Hello? T.run. Name string func t. Damn it, really, Frank? See? This is why I need you here. That is incredible. Test description and a func. Now with here, do I have to do? Because I think this is going to shadow. Yeah. Expected one expression, found a thing. That's okay. So that closes out that. Closes out that. That should close out that. Okay. Good thing no one works on that stuff at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Except for that one person that's currently working on that stuff at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Let me go wash this out real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm back. That's the one thing that I have to do with those smoothies is as soon as I'm done with them, I have to basically take and wash the cup out and just leave water sitting into the cup. Otherwise, oof, it's not pretty. Okay, so what am I not doing here? Oh, it's because I instinctually put the comma there. Derp. Oh, right. Is this the thing where you're basically spawning off subtests? Is that what's going on? Oh. Imported not used log. Test. Bye. Are there no others? Nope. I missed the terminal emulator in here. Makes me sad. I used to have term. I still have term? Hello? Excuse me? Term? Go test? I have not been able to have the terminal emulation work for like a month now. Holy shit. Yay. Oh, I'm gonna need that in an hour. All right. Hell yeah. Oh my god, that hog champ, that's so cute. Jesus Christ. Okay. T.run was at T.run was at 8 and identified failing tests. Got it. So in theory, what I could do is I could change this to something like this should be a GIF sub, and then go test. Test parts user. Oh, I really like that. Hell yeah. Oh, I like that. Let's fucking go. Much appreciated, really, Frank. Again. There's so much code that we've changed. That's okay. Now I've written a couple of these now. It makes me wonder if there's an easier way to do this. Because basically what I'm doing is this. Test parse IRC line. That's more or less what I'm testing here. T is a testing.t. And what I would love to have is another basically table-driven test, which is description is a string, input line is a string, and then expected is a message. And then what I would love to have is like description is bits message. Input line is bits message. Then expected is a message that has the fields that I want it to have. The question though, well, that's the other thing too, is that I have a simple parse IRC line. This should actually be test parse or chat message parse. And I think this kind of works from the perspective of like I want to check that it's parsing the command properly, the user, the channel, yada yada yada. Oh, but I wish that there was a table-driven way to do this. I feel like there is, but you can't do deep equality on structs, can you? Reflect.deep equal. Okay. See what we got. So in theory, This should definitely just be input for consistency. If reflect dot deep equal, and deep equal is xy, okay. Well, technically, if it's not reflect dot deep equal, result test dot expected pt dot fatal f. Let's see here. Parsed message does not match. Or how do we want to put this? Expected percent plus v got percent plus v. Expected test that expected got result. And I think I want to do like, yeah. Just to make it a little bit easier to read. Doesn't make the string any easier to read, but yeah, details. That maybe. Now I know for a fact that this is not going to work. No right since last change. Yeah. Well. Hell yeah. Minor detail on the tags, though. Yeah. Oh dear. Tags, user, command, channel. I'm kind of kind of going back and forth on this in my head. I think there's a way to do that. I'm not creative enough to come up with a funny, totally necessary feature request. You can use that to come up with whatever feature request related or unrelated to the bot you would like. And there was an easy way. Can't remember now. One day I'll remember. La, 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 la. Yeah, okay. You can literally do the colon format. Fantastic. This is the part where I feel like I should probably cut down on the amount of tags. Because, like, badge info, I don't really care about. Username, color, I don't think I care about. Display name, I care about. Emotes, I don't care about. ID, I don't care about. Room ID, I don't care about. Subscriber, I probably care about. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Turbo, user ID. Yeah. That'll just cut down on the amount of initialization that I have to do in the map, which I could just do. I could do a helper somewhere, but I feel like that's probably just gonna take forever anyway. So, oops, it's probably easier to just delete things that I don't need. Because we already know based on one of the tests that this can, in fact, parse tags properly. So I don't think we need all tags. I think we can shut this down to just the tags that we need. I'm looking for a package that will only compare fields that is present in both. That would be... Well, the problem, though, is that technically this would be... Would you be talking about, like, the map? So check only if check only if the map has these particular ones. If that's the case, I can always throw it backwards. Profile URL, we definitely don't care about. Viewer count, we do care about. However, we don't. Yeah, we don't care about the message for right now. We need display name. Message ID. Limited month. Streak months we don't care about. Should share streak we don't care about. Subplan we do care about. Subplan name we do care about. System message we don't care about. The timestamp we don't care about. And the user type we don't care. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now I get to actually at least kind of making sense exercises. Scientific computing has no exams. It's only about doing fine on the exercises, which are only about programming different algorithms and stuff we see in the lecture. Sounds better than what I usually associate to most of those exams. So I'd say good luck to you, from first and foremost. Odd message ID, cumulative months. We don't want the streak. We don't want the should share. We do want the subplan. We don't want room. We don't want any of this, if I remember correctly. And more. Display name. message ID, if month, param, recipient display name, username. Recipient ID we don't really care about. Message param subplan, subplan name. And then I am going to change this subplan name to sub1, just for the sake of simplicity. Sub1, this would be tier 1. And same back here. Tier 1. This is tier 1. Can't really find a suitable compare package. That's okay. I appreciate it, really, Frank. I think this will do fine. At least just cutting down on the tags that we need to keep up with. Probably will help. And log in. Oh. Message ID, message ID. Actually, kind of helps to the readability of some of these things. Yeah, that helps quite a bit. Okay. So then, this will probably take more time than I have time for. Oh yeah, I'm over. But the thought here. How's this parsing react to capital letters because the actual usernames on Twitch are also always lowercase? Yeah, more or less what really Frank said. On the raw messages, they appear to be assistant 1. And then for bits, it would actually just be bits 1. Oh, this is assistant. User would be assistant, curve message, Medgelabs, and then content was Cheer 100. There's the potential for something to be automated there, but hey, it worked. Holy shit. It worked. Oh my goodness, which is fantastic because that effectively means that we can now have a table-driven test as we start to add more of these message parsings. Now, mind you, there is kind of an element of what's the term? The other thing that we could do, and I don't think I'm going to get to this right now, but the other thing that we could do is we could basically have one of the elements as a function that checks those individual fields, kind of like what really Frank was talking about of rolling your own comparator. And the comparator would just be, okay, well, this should be a raid message, so the raider should be populated, the raid months or the raid count should be populated, yada yada yada. Because what we're doing right now is more or less just ensuring that parse IRC line does what it's supposed to do, which is good. But what I was really going for was trying to cut down on these kinds of tests. And what we could do, especially when it comes to like the channel, the contents, the user, things like that, it feels like we can do that in one test, make sure that kind of the core processing, the core parsing works as expected. And then we can have a test that is very specific for, okay, a chat message should have display name content. The raid message should have a raider and a raid size. We could have those as just comparator functions. So we could do something like compare is a function that that takes a message and returns a Boolean. And then down here, our function would just be kind of sort of similar to what we have down here. We could just say, okay, this should be this should be this, but it's not quite as nice as if we had, you know, just a deeper comparing. Ooh, go test deep. Yoink. Package provides a single function, deep.equal. It's like reflect.deep equal, but much friendlier to humans. Deep.equal returns a list of differences, and freaking-tastic, and does not compare unexported fields by default. Is a game of Hunt the Wumpus. For large map slices and structs, finding the differences is difficult. Fatal number slice 2943 does not equal. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Okay, so we're gonna give that that package a look. Wow, that is a tiny package too. Hell yeah! Thank you, Daniel, for your contribution to the Go community. I am absolutely going to be looking at this later. We're going to pop that into there so that I don't lose it. But for now, I think we are actually going to call it there. I think I need some time to just deflate, recenter, and then prepare. So we'll call it there. Oh, before I call it there, let's save this. Do a quick term check. Go test. Looks good. And let's come over here, close that, go run, make sure everything runs properly. It does. Hell yeah. Exit out of there. Do a big old G. Subs handler, config, IRC, message test main. Decommit. Add sub, resub, and gift sub handling to the bot. Add basic tests. Okay. Push. Origin subs. I'll probably keep going with this off stream just to add more tests and kind of dig into that idea of how to make those table-driven tests better, which that package is absolutely up there. So we'll see what happens. We need more streams? I know. I'm sorry. Actually, let me... so that's now pushed up to a branch called subs if you want to take a look. Just to kind of catch up with everybody really quick. So I got rid of the Tuesday night and Friday night streams because it was very difficult for me to actually make those streams work. Mostly because of work. And also the Tuesday, Friday evenings just didn't really seem to work with everybody. I mean, most of my viewers are not American based, so it seemed like those days really didn't work for most people anyway. I am entertaining the idea of doing early morning streams like this. there's a couple of things that are in motion at the moment that I think I need to kind of iron out first, to really kind of figure out what my schedule is going to look like over the next couple of months. But if that be the case, would that be something that that people are interested in? Maybe bringing Tuesday back, but instead Tuesday being like a 7 to 9, would be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. stream for me, possibly a 6 to 8 depending, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. depending. How does that idea sound to people? And you can also just comment in the Discord channel if you would prefer, because we do still have a Discord channel. But that's something that I am considering, because I agree. I kind of miss the midweek stream. Only streaming on Saturdays is like, okay, and then in the meantime I end up just recording a ton of off hours videos. I can't always jump on and stream, but maybe. So I want to see what you guys thought about that. But oh my goodness, I feel like I need to go. It's better to lurk and join for me than original hours. That's fair. Yeah, but all right. Well, I think we will call it here. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for joining this impromptu Friday morning stream. I will be back soon, hopefully. We'll be back tomorrow, all things considered. So I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. But until then, stay curious, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.